As we're bringing the month of mental health awareness to a close, I want to take a second to reflect over all the things that I've done over the last couple of months to just cater to my mental health. Y'all, this is a big one. My first one is, some of you may know, but some of you may not, but I recently resigned from my good government job. People are like, why would you walk away from your six-figure job? Because it was mentally draining me. And let me tell you why I stayed. I stayed because of the trauma of my past. And let me tell you what I mean by that. One of the greatest lessons that I learned through this is that I do not have to be afraid of my past or be afraid of money. And the reason why I was afraid of my past and afraid of my money is because I've experienced multiple episodes of homelessness. As a child, I lived in 5 different shelters, 7 different states. So not only was I afraid of being homeless, but I don't like instability. That is the quickest way to freak me out, is to put me in a place where I am not stable. However, what I realized is that was just the trauma of my past, because I'm nowhere near being homeless. I put myself in position to eliminate those things from happening, but my entire adulthood was predicated on running or trying to escape or avoid anything that would cause instability or somehow disrupt my livelihood and cause me to be homeless. It's not the truth. So don't be tricked by your past traumas. Let me tell you, I tell y'all all the time, the brain is so smart, but it's so stupid at the same time. Because, for example, if you burn yourself as a kid, guess what your brain is going to do? It's going to tell you you can never touch a stove again because you got burnt and it hurt really, really, really bad. But is that true? It's not the truth at all, because we know as adults, we use the stove every day. The reason we can use the stove every day is because we put precautions in place that allows us to use the stove. But if we stay trapped in our trauma and our past, guess what? We would avoid using a stove for the rest of our lives. And that's what a lot of us do when we are, operating and trying to navigate this thing called life. We are literally running from our past, afraid that it's going to follow us into the future, and that is a lie. We have to learn to reject lies. We have to learn to understand what's trauma and what we need to reject and throw away. Another thing that I did was I took a solo trip, y'all, on vacation for myself. I do a lot of things. And I'm not even going to run down the list. I do a lot of things, and I have never been able to just breathe. And one of the things that I just recently learned about myself about last year or so is that I need to go into my shell sometimes. That's how I replenish. I need a day, I need a week. So learning to take staycations, learning to, like I said, do that solo trip was so refreshing. I got to be alone and, wake up when I wanted to wake up, eat what I wanted to eat, and, just do the things that I wanted to do for me. So that was very refreshing. Another thing is I've been saying no a whole lot more. Let me tell you, I was really afraid of the word no and telling people no. I was such a people pleaser in my whole, life, that I was afraid to say no. But what I learned is that when I taught people how to respect and honor my boundaries, let them know that this is a shift that's going to happen, guess what? They did just that. They respect and they honored it. And so, I just understand now that saying no is so much healthier than always saying yes to doing people's favors, saying yes to going places, saying yes to, whatever it is. If you are not in a position, I tell my clients all the time, if your cup is half empty, you're not in position. You're only in position to say yes if you're running over, learning how to have your cup running over and you be full and replenished. And that way you can go out and you can conquer the world however you choose to conquer it. But yeah, those are just some of the ways that I have learned to take care of myself and my mental health. This will be the first time, and I know it may sound crazy because I do trauma recovery and I teach you all about, taking care of your mental health. But guess what? This girl too has been in therapy for the last 7 years, and this is the first time I'm going to walk away. And so I had to learn how to put things in place to support myself. And I don't necessarily go to therapy, every other week because something is wrong. No, I was going for the last 5 years because it was preventative. And so listen, if you want to learn more ways of how to cater to your mental health, how to understand what your emotional needs are, because that's another thing. We're out here chasing or trying to fulfill emotional needs that we have no awareness of. We think we're catering or we're meeting those needs, but the reason we're so tired and we're so worn out is because we're trying to meet the wrong need. And so I want you to just take a moment to reflect on what you have done in this past month or past couple of months, past week, to make sure that your mental health is intact. I mean, there are a plethora of coping strategies, self-care tactics that you can do. And if you're interested in learning more, please feel free to shoot me a DM on Instagram, send me an email. All of my contact information will be listed below. But reach out if you have any questions. I'm so looking forward to you becoming a healthier version of you. So take care, be light, be blessed.